right?
Right.
Then you get the job, and you're always paranoid about something that you made a mistake with, right? Like, oh, somebody got fired somewhere else.
Right.
They're gonna bring that person in to replace me.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of stuff. I mean, it's just that. I think that feeling, people can glom onto that. None of us have sat in a hotel room and waited for it to ring or for a phone to ring. But the idea of having to sweat something out
Right.
that you really want.
But it's such a. It's like you talked about. The opportunity is so small.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a starting center in the NFL. Okay, you got 32 of them.
Golly.
I want to kick. Ain't but 32
32 of
of
them.
you. I mean, it's such a small deal in the windows. So not just talent, but there's some luck there too. I mean, I
More
look
than
at
we want to admit.
right. I
More
look
than
at
we
my
want to admit.
story and how I ended up finally making it, and it was like, it was timing.
Mm-hmm.
They had a guy that they were tired of giving chances to,
Mm-hmm.
and they finally gave him his last chance, and he blew it, and they weren't going to give him any more. And they said, well, they had brought me up with 3 games to go, which was a strategic move because they had brought me up with 4 that accounted as a credited season, and I got a free agency extra year. So don't think that the man ain't there to bring you down, because he is. But yeah, I mean, because you brought that thing up the other day about wouldn't it be cool if you got your first game that you played in,
Mm-hmm.
and you watched it, and as you watched it, you narrated what was happening or you wrote it out.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it. I found the beauty of YouTube. I found the game. 1994, Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, in Miami. Sunday Night Football. And Don Shula was still the coach. And watched it. Watched the first series I went in, the first play, and remember what I said to myself, because it was a slide protection, and I thought I was sliding fast, but I wasn't sliding fast enough, and barely got, I'm on the ground, and thank goodness he got rid of the ball, and I'm like, the first thing you think, oh, they're going to take me out. That's it. But it's like I can still remember those things this many years later, and watched the whole game, watched all of it. Remember every play. I remember the next day on Buffalo Sports on radio. Was it next day or was it Tuesday? No, Jim Kelly had his show on Monday. He talked about me and the other guard, because there's another guy that went in who was the backup center, and he had to play because the other guard got hurt. So we both played the whole game, ended up winning. And just Jim talking about us on the radio, got game balls after the game. Guys hate, And I'm just like, man, this is nuts. And I remember I got that game ball, I still have it. And I brought it home, I gave it to my parents. Because they'd always, they always supported me. But it's just luck. I mean, the guy had multiple chances. They didn't want to do it anymore. Gave up 2 sacks in the first half. Never played again.
Hmm.
And it's different. It's a weird way to live. It's
Yes.
a weird way to live.
Yes. But I think you would say it's rewarding in its own way.
It's a good way to live. It's a weird way to live.
Yeah,
I mean,
in
you
its
just
own way.
different. It's different. Football and professional sports is different because it's, when you're playing college. Well, nowadays might be a little different because there's so much onus put upon guys playing in the league and numbers and just. I mean, I got a friend right now that was a starting tight end H at a school. Started as a freshman, had 3 awesome years. Just progressively got better every year, better touchdown numbers. They went to the coaching staff and basically is like, look, I'd like to be used like some of these other tight ends. Because the guy's got that kind of build. When I say other tight ends, I'm talking like Kittle, Gronk, some of these guys that are longer, they can go out, play the slot, do some of that stuff. And they're like, no, that's not what we do. You start, and he's going to do the same thing. So they're like, we've had 3 unbelievable years. I can't do anything else on film that I have not already done. I am 100% healthy. I'll go get my shot. So, he's working out down in Dallas. Probably go down and see him, visit him. Just got his invite today to the combine.
Attaboy.
And, it's going well. I don't have any problem with what he did because he, guys that do it like they put their time in, they actually sit there and think about it. He doesn't have a first-round grade. But he's also a guy that, to be honest with you, probably will never have a first-round grade.
Right.
And he understands what he is. He's a tremendous athlete. But, so, I'm healthy. Let's go take a shot at this. And so it's in college, there's more camaraderie. There's more, I want to see you succeed. And in the pros, it's like everybody's cutting throats for a job.
Right.
So it's just a different feel. It's still football. I remember Sapp said this, Warren said this, and I agreed with it. He said, Monday through Saturday's yours. Sunday's mine. Sunday's mine. You got Monday through Saturday. You beat it, you take whatever, that you can have that, but you're not getting Sunday. That's mine. And I was like, that was a great way to look at it. Because that really is still, even at the age of 30-some years old or whatever you are, 10-year vet, 10-minute vet. The game, playing the game is still the best part of it. Always has been, always will be. Even more so than the cash you make.
That's a nice perk, too.
It is.
Perk, too.
It is.
Jerry, I don't know that we're going to be able to top this when you come back, dude. But this has been excellent. I mean that.
I want to say something real fast if I can.
Please.
People down here have no idea who this man is. His name's Hank Burnett. He was my high school football coach. I just got a tweet today that said he passed away. Last time I had talked to Hank, it was funny. My high school football team was like Jinx back where I grew up. I lost 2 games in 3 years of football. We didn't win state championships back then. They didn't have a state title. They had conference titles. My junior year, we were 12-0. And we were that team. We weren't flashy. We had very simple uniforms, but we lined up with a toughness and a simplicity. We ran 5 plays. Our big pass play was the boot off of our we didn't even run power. It was more of a tackle trap. But we beat people's heads in.
Right.
And Hank was a fullback at the now programless University of Tampa. He played fullback at Tampa. So he was tough. This could be. We had a little defense coordinator named Joe Edwards. They called him Jumper because he had to jump up to get in your face to yell at you. His tactic to get your attention was he had a ring that he would turn around and bop you upside the helmet and your head would ring, or he would kick you. He kicked me many times. Had Mr. Aloysius, who, if you couldn't find him, he was probably trout fishing. And then Mr. Morty Bollinger, who was another. So they had 4 coaches. That's all we had. We had 4 guys. And there's something, and I say this because you'll laugh at me because I'm waxing nostalgic. I'm going back to the whole age thing and all this, but there's something simplistic. There's something beautiful in the simplicity of things. When you strip it all down and you bring it to its most simplest form. We were its most simplest form, believe me. But because we were that way, we had a belief. And, again, we had a toughness. Back when practices were stretch, you did up downs, you ran, you did quarter eagles, half eagles, barrel rolls, then hit the sled before you even worried about running plays, right? And those guys are why I played. I mean, Hank is why I played. I mean, I'll never forget. I had kids in high school I coached, and I always tell them, I'm like, look, you'll learn one day, you'll understand one day what it's all about. And I remember as a college kid and then a professional going back home and going to the basement of the Spring City Volunteer Firehouse, going to the basement in the bar and sitting down with Hank and Morty and those guys and Hank's kids and, pitcher in a short glass, Dutch plate, and sitting back and talking about everything and learning about what it was all about. So I just wanted to say that about him and honor him, because without him, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be playing. I wouldn't have played football in college. I wouldn't have played football in the pros for sure, because it's like my family, most of my career was built upon, yes, I was talented. I get it. But we talk about fit. We talk about why people make it. And it's the same thing with you. You don't want to believe this, I don't think, but people that make it most of the time, people that don't have that boost from others, there's a toughness about them. And you learn that from people, and you mirror that from people that teach you. And so I say thanks to him, because he taught me that.
I'm going to leave it there, Jerry.
All right, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.